Hi guys, welcome to Chapter 9, Blending Colors and Shapes. In this lesson you will learn how to do the following: create and save a gradient fill, apply and edit a gradient on a stroke, apply and edit a radial gradient, add colors to a gradient, adjust the direction of a gradient, adjust the opacity of color in a gradient, blend the shapes of objects in intermediate steps, create smooth color blends between objects, and modify a blend and its path, shape, and color. This lesson will take you approximately 60 minutes to complete. Today we're going to learn how to create a gradient. A gradient fill is a graduated blend of two or more colors, and it always includes a starting and an ending color. You can create different types of gradient fills in Illustrator, including linear, in which the beginning color blends into the color along a line, and radial, in which the beginning color radiates outward from the center point to the ending color. You can use the gradients provided with Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud or create your own gradients and save them as swatches for later use. You can use the gradient panel, Window/Gradient, or the gradient tool to apply, create, and modify gradients. Okay, to work with gradients we need to open the gradient window. Of course you can always go from your top window, go down to gradient and click here. You can also access your gradients over here on your right panel by clicking gradients. In the gradient panel, the leftmost gradient stop under the gradient slider marks the starting color. That's this one here. A gradient color stop is at the point at which the gradient changes from one color to the next. You can add more color stops by clicking below the gradient slider. Just like that. Double-clicking a color stop opens a panel where you can choose a color from swatches, color sliders, or the eyedropper. You can delete color stops by just dragging them off of the panel. Okay, so we're going to create a gradient and fill the yellow rectangle on our screen. So the first thing you want to do is use your selection tool to select the rectangle. As you can see, both in your toolbox you have a yellow fill with no stroke, but also in your gradient box it'll show you what exactly your object is currently. So we're going to change the fill color to the gradient swatch named White Black in the control panel. So you want to click on your swatches, and I actually have mine loaded here, and you can find the White Black gradient. Notice the yellow rectangle is now a gradient that goes from white to black. However, we want to make this a gray to blue gradient, so we're going to learn how to change this gradient. Open the gradient panel back up. Remember, you can click on it over here, or you can also go to Window and open up Gradient. And we're going to double click on the left stopper. So this is the white. Okay, remember it opens up our detail box here. And we're actually going to click on the swatches. And we want to choose the swatch that is called Sky 1. Now for some reason my swatches didn't load when I opened up the file, so I had to create one myself. You should probably see lots of other swatches in your swatch list there. But for the purpose of this assignment we're just going to go with what I have. Okay. Now you want to double click on the rightmost stopper because we want to change this to a blue. And this time, instead of choosing a swatch, we're going to show you how to create your own color. So click on the color, which looks like a little paint palette there. And we want to open up the menu here and make sure it says CMYK. And we want to change these values here on the right side to what is in your text. So we're going to start with C and highlight this and change it to 40. Then I'm going to tab down and change to 4, tab, 10, tab, 0. And there we have it. It changed to a pretty gray to blue gradient. Next, you'll save the gradient in the swatches panel. So click the gradient menu above And it's real simple. You'll see this little arrow next to the word type in your gradient menu. If you click on that, you can now save this swatch so that you could use it later. And it's down here in the bottom. There's a little add to swatches button. If you click on that, that is now part of your swatch menu, and I can go up here and show you. Ta-da, there it is. Okay, the gradient menu will list all the default and saved gradients that you can apply. If you click the swatches panel like I did, you'll see that it shows up, and you can double click on it and change its name, and we're going to change it to Sky and click OK. You've created your own gradient. Okay, next we are going to learn how to blend an object. You can blend two distinct objects to create and distribute shapes evenly between two objects. The two shapes you blend can be the same or different. You can also blend between two open paths to create a smooth transition of color between objects, or you can combine blends of colors and objects to create color transitions in the shape of a particular object. When you create a blend, the blended objects are treated as one object called a blend object. If you move one of the original objects or edit the anchor points of the original object, the blend changes accordingly. You can also expand the blend to divide it into distinct objects. Okay, so to get started, I'm not going to show you the waves in your book because I want that to be the one you practice on. I'm going to show you just how to blend simple objects. So I'm going to choose my ellipse tool, and I'm going to draw a couple of simple circles. First a large one on this side, and then a smaller one over here. I'm going to go over to my toolbox, and all the way down towards the bottom you will find your blend tool. Click on it to select it, and when you hover over one of your objects, you'll notice that the cursor turns from the blend icon to a blend icon with a little X. That's when you know you're over the object and you can click to select. Then go to the other object you want to blend it between, get that same cursor and click, and you get a blend. You can change the blend by going to Object, Blend, Options, and you can change the number of specified steps. I believe they wanted 15, but you can make them go smaller or farther apart in between if you would like. Now once you've created your blend, you can edit it with the Object menu, or you can also select objects within the blend and move them around a little bit, and you can get a different look. For example, if I want to move the first object, you'll see that it'll adjust to wherever that object is. I can also double click until, just click until I get the actual blend path, and you can also move this as well. You can move it around on your page, or you can adjust the path like so. So you can get whatever look you're actually going for. As you can see, this allows for a lot of really creative possibilities. I hope you enjoy working with the blend tool.